because he has a way with leadership in which really impacted me, and I thought it would be great to bring him over so you guys can listen to this great, amazing speaker. I'll tell you a little bit about him. He is a founder and CEO of Coach Powell Training and Development. He offers a unique variety of powerful products and services for personal and business development. The magic of Vision Quest 90, True Voice, Coffee, Tea, You and Me, or his new ebook, The Power Playbook. You can find that at the website www.90dayspowerplay.com. He dedicates to providing business leaders with the professional attention necessary, using phenomenal, successful proprietary coaching and training systems to help them achieve their business and personal development goals. He is part of the Northern Virginia Business Referral Roundtable. He's a co-founder. He is a retired military officer, association membership. He's also BNI Northern Virginia president and ambassador, Fairfax County Small Business Commission's chairman, and he's also part of the INOVA Gift and Estate Planning Council member. Okay. Very active. His personal motto is, "A good life is spent in the service of others." He is actualized in many charitable contributions and councils. So please give me your hands of applause. You can welcome Mr. Coach Powell.
Thank you so very much. So just to let you all know, my daughter is here today and she's recording this live. It's going to go Facebook Live right now. Are we on?
Yep.
All right, so
We're live.
This is my daughter. She can't introduce herself. This is Kayla. She's a 19-year-old student at Howard University. She's studying theater, arts administration. She's coming out of the musical theater program. She loves the arts. HU in the house. You know, right? And she's my creative director for the summer. I'm about to lose her because she's got an internship with some arts organization, and I guess they're promoting the arts or whatever. But for now, she's my social media guru. She does everything for me. And I highly encourage you all, if you got young ones around you, grandkids, kids, and they got talent and gifts and things that they can do, have them do it for you. It's the most special thing. I thought I knew everything about marketing and social media and all that kind of stuff, and I realized people who are born digital have a different outlook and a different opinion and a different idea, and they know some good stuff that us old farts can get in front of. Not that you all are old farts. I'm an old fart. And if you can identify with me, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so today's talk is going to be really special. It's really special because I put it together. But more than that, it's going to be special because I'm going to talk to you about the levels of leadership that you've got to ascend to today. Because most of what we talk about when it comes to leadership is old stuff. Stuff that we used to tell leaders to do that would make them successful. And if you try that old stuff in today's world, I guarantee you're going to have some problems. You're going to have some pushback. You're going to have people who are like, I'm not into whatever you have to say or anything like that. So we're going to talk about some new, sexy stuff in leadership. And before I get into it, I got a lot of gifts for you I want to share with you. This is going to be hugely interactive, so I'm going to call on you, especially if you have a name tag on. I'm sorry, because I know my name and I don't know yours. So I want you to know you wore it for a reason, so I might just call on you. And I want this to be interactive. I want you to take lots of notes, ask lots of questions, get really involved. And the first thing I want to have you take note of is this. Hashtag 9-Step Guru. Number 9, STEP Guru. Hashtag 9-Step Guru. That is where you're going to find everything I've ever worked on, cared about, published, produced on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, even Instagram. If you got any of those things and you go to hashtag 9-Step Guru, you are going to find my stuff. The other hashtag I played with is hashtag the roundtable. You go to hashtag the roundtable. All this is one word. Don't try to be too good at this. That's not going to work. Hashtag the roundtable, and you're going to find a whole bunch of other stuff that I do, and I've printed up and put together. Now, I've had over 18 articles on LinkedIn. All of them are hugely popular. I'm amazed that anybody reads my stuff, because I'm just, whatever comes off the top of my head, I just put it together, write it down, because I'm always creating content. I've got tons of content. In fact, I got some content that I want to share with you. Where did I put my stuff? Here we go. All right. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small books that I'm going to give to each and every one. Each of these is anywhere from 25 to 35 pages of hardcore, relevant, meaningful stuff that you can use. No stories, no fluff, all fact, all information, every single word. I tried to make sure I took out anything that had anything to do with fluff, anything. It's just all to streamline this kind of stuff. And here's what you're going to get. One, you're going to get the 9 Steps to Mastery. The 9 Steps to Mastery is a leadership program that I wrote to help people understand how to develop the network of their future. We're all born into a network, and then the other networks we bumped into it. But this is how to put your networking strategy process on steroids, so you can create the network that you want to create that's going to help you live the life that you want to live. Yes, it's business, it's personal, it's fun, it's informative, it's all that. Everything you want to do, it's there to create community and, dare I say, happiness. If you don't have that when it's all said and done, it doesn't matter how much money you had, how many transactions you had, how much business you did, you're just going to be a sad sack, and you're going to be a part of the negativity cloud that we're trying to release from the universe, right? Number 2, I'm going to give you Champions by Design. Champions by Design is a program I put together that espouses a new type of leadership called a tagnet. The tagnet is a person that can not just lead people, but they can find and identify talent. And they can recruit and bring that talent into themselves and into the organizations or into their universe and into the world. And then they can develop that talent and promote that talent and put that talent and use that talent in a meaningful, powerful way. That is what Champions Design is all about. Execution, flawless techniques for the master. That's where today's content is coming from. An excerpt from it. But execution is all about that. It's all about learning how to get it done. How to get it done well, how to get it done fast, how to get it done effectively and efficiently. All right? And then there's the 100% closing ratio. How many people would like to close every opportunity that they ever came in front of? Anybody? Anybody in the room?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The 100% closing ratio will teach you how to identify suspects versus prospects. I know in the real estate world, we call them looky-loos. Is that what I heard that term a couple years ago? Is that you guys still use that term? Looky-loos? They're just looking around, they're not going to do anything. So how do you identify those really, really early and then really find the real prospects, people who want it, need it, and will afford it, and will get it from you right now? That's what the 100% closing ratio is all about, how to identify and create and then actually close. You can close a prospect all day long, 100% of the time. A suspect, and it's a maybe, right? So that teaches you how to do that. And then there's benefits. That's another program I created because I realized that no matter what industry you come from, we've all been taught the facts and features of our products. And when we talk like those facts and features and those products are just like amazing, right? But nobody cares about the facts and features of our products. They only care about the benefits they will receive as a result of working with us to expose them to those products and services. And we are not good, none of us, I know for a fact, at articulating the benefit that we offer people. And a benefit is defined by what happens when you're done. How do they feel? What can they now do, be, or have as related to what you did with them? Now, if they can't do, be, or have something that they really, really like or are excited about, did you deliver really benefit to them? Just because they have a transaction? No. You understand what I'm saying? So that's all about how to retranslate, reformat, and recommunicate the benefits that you offer to people. Last time I bought a car, it was my midlife crisis car, I will admit. I named it Kimberly so I don't forget who I love. That's my wife, by the way. And when I bought that car, I didn't buy that car because of the gas mileage. I didn't buy it because of the size of the engine. I didn't buy it because of the color. I didn't buy it because it had leather seats or anything like that. Any of those facts and features. I bought it because I loved being in it. I bought it because I felt like I looked good in it. And when I drove it, it just did stuff that I couldn't imagine a car would do. And there was always a new gadget for me to find, a new button. It was a mystery to me. That's why I bought the car. Now, the salesman didn't talk to me about any of that stuff. He talked to me about all the stuff that made me make sure that I paid as least for that car as I possibly could. But if he had talked to me about those benefits that I would receive, I'd have paid top dollar for that car. Whatever the sticker price was. I wouldn't even negotiate. I wouldn't even argue about, here's money. I want it so bad. But because he started talking to me with features, and I'm like, you know what? I don't even need that, so I'm not paying for it. I'm not even interested in that. I'm not going to pay extra dollars for that. No, you're going to give me $50 off for that, $100 off for that. But you see what I'm saying? Benefits compel people. And if you know how to use benefits correctly, you will compel people to then listen to your offers and then make sure that they respect your offer for what it really is. But if you don't know how to lay out the benefits, you get lost. So benefits is going to teach you that. Now, that's it. That's what everybody's going to get for free. Doesn't matter how you get it. I'm going to give it to whoever I'm going to give it to. They're going to send it all out to you. And you have my exclusive rights and all that kind of stuff. Or wave, you can do whatever you want to do. Make it your own. Cheat. Put your name on it. I don't care. Because this information is so powerful and so meaningful, I feel ashamed if I didn't share it with the rest of the world. So I want you to share it with other people. I want you to give it to other people. I want you to keep it, use it, make it your own. I don't care what you do with it. There's no intellectual property rights that I care about. Yes, got Coach Powell Training Development on the bottom of it. And my contact number in case you have questions. But other than that, you can have it all. So who do I give this stuff to? That's going to give it to everybody. So hold me to this. I wrote it down. I'll sign it in blood if you want me to. Okay. So that leads me to today's topic. Today I want to talk to you about something that I think is the most important thing you've got to talk about whenever you talk about leadership. And that is principles. Principles, by definition, are timeless. They are here before us. They will be here after us. There's a problem with principles. Does anybody know what the problem is? What's the problem?
They get screwed up.
They get screwed up, right? Any other problems with principles?
Limiting.
They are limiting. They are rules, right? Because why? What happens if you break a principle?
You get in trouble.
Right?
One way or another.
If you break a principle, you will suffer the consequences. The principle has this, you break the principle, the same consequences happen every time you bump up against a principle. So what can you do with principle? What can you really do with it? Can you cheat? Can you ignore principle?
No.
Who says yes? You can ignore principle. You say yes? Try the principle of gravity. Can you ignore that bad boy?
No.
Why not? Things that come up, what happened? They come down. Sometimes?
All the time.
All the time. So when I was a youngster, I didn't understand this.
Spaghetti stuck to the wall.
You know, eventually it's going to come down if it gets wet enough. But if it gets dry, then it's going to stick, right? But that's another principle that's in there, right? So think about that. There's all principles guide us always. Now, what happens when we don't know the principles? Do they still work?
Yeah.
Who said yeah? You said yeah? Why?
They're bigger than we are.
Right. They apply to everybody. And what is that? Ignorance of the law
There's no excuse.
is no excuse. And some people, you've heard some of the rules I've heard, right?
Yeah.
So these principles are the same no matter where you go, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, no matter where you start. But these are principles, the 5 principles that I pulled out for you that I want you to think about. I want you to apply to your leadership. And I don't mean your leadership how you lead others. I mean leadership how you lead yourself and how you lead others. Because if you find yourself leading yourself in a different way than you lead others, what do we call that?
Hypocrisy.
Who said that? I like the man corner back here. I love that. Yes, it's a hypocrite. That's what that is. Can you trust a hypocrite? What? You can't trust hypocrites? Why not?
It's a principle.
It's a principle. All right? Think about this. Principles guide and direct us. Now, all we can do with principles, and I want to share this with you, is a couple of things, and I'm going to get right to the heart and soul of what I'm talking about today. Principles are things that you have to understand and have to identify with, and you just have to accept them. You can't ignore them. They're not going away because you ignored them. The principle of gravity, again, existed before you, and it's going to exist after you. How do you know when you bumped into a principle? You're suffering. If you're suffering, I guarantee there's something you did that has caused you to bump into a principle that you either didn't know, refused to acknowledge, or you tried to ignore. Because if you know all the rules to the game, is there any reason why you can't play the game well? But what happens if you don't know the rules to the game? The likelihood that you're going to make some mistakes grows precipitously, right? So think about this. Now, there's a difference between principles and values. Principles, again, are here before you. They're going to be here after you. They are timeless. They are a part of our everyday lives and always will be. Values, however, you get to choose. You get to choose how you're going to value different things. One of my biggest values is courage. I have to be courageous. I value and I like courageous people. I don't like fearful people. I don't want to be fearful myself. I don't value this. So what does that mean? Although I am an introvert, I know that what I've chosen to do requires me to be good at communicating and talking to people and inviting people and engaging with people, even though it grates at the very soul of my DNA. Yes. Right? I have to be good at it. In order for me to be willing to be good at it, I have to be courageous. I have to accept it when somebody says to me, Marvin, come speak to my group. I gotta say yes. Even though this is gonna require a lot of energy from me. And I'm probably gonna go want to get a drink afterwards. So pray for me, because I'm gonna need some help. But I realize how important it is to deal with it, to face what I want to face, and break through my fear, and because that is courageous. So I'm showing courage right here. I need you to help me out. You help me out by engaging. You help me out by, letting me know, either through your body language or your foot tapping or whatever you do, that you're with me. All right, this is not time to just sit back, dream about what you should be doing at the office, but this is time for engagement time. Because if I don't feel like it, then I'm going to be like, man, this was really hard. This really sucked. I never want to talk to these people again. So help me out. Even if you don't like what I'm saying, please just smile and nod. We're good. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 principles. Again, these are principles, and you cannot break them. There are 5, and I'm going to list them out real quick, and then we're going to go into detail. The principle of belief is number 1. The principle of preparation is number 2. The principle of concentration is number 3. The principle of force is number 4. And the 5th principle is the principle of growth. Okay, now these are principles. I got to explain to you how they work in principle land, because somebody might confuse them as values, because sometimes you can confuse principles as values. But let me tell you, let me help you understand the universality of these principles. And as a leader, I'm going to suggest to you, these are the key 5 principles that if you grab onto, if you understand, if you rock out to, you cannot fail as a leader. Let's talk about the principle of belief. What do you want your leaders to believe in?
You.
That's that engagement part I was talking about.
What they say, what they tell you.
You want them to believe what they're talking about, right? What else?
Belief in you.
You want them to, who said morals? I love that. What's your name? Molly, I love that. That's important. Ethics, morals. You want them to have morals that they believe in. Somebody else said something over here.
I said believe in you.
You want them to believe in you. It's a trick question coming up for you. Keep that one in mind. What else do you need your leaders to believe in? What?
Their own products and services.
Their own products and services. What else?
Their capability.
Themselves.
Their own capabilities, themselves, their own values, their own morals, their own principles. You want them to have integrity. You want them to say what they mean and mean what they say, and you want them to be able to be accountable. You want them to be credible. You want them to be solid. You want them to be firm. All these things you want from you want them to believe in all these things, and you want them to understand. Now, has anybody ever bumped into leaders who have messed this up completely? Anybody? Raise your hand. No, don't be shy. Raise your hand. I want to see who you are. So now, how do you know that they don't believe?
They don't walk the walk.
They don't walk the walk. They don't model the right behavior.
They blame somebody else.
They blame other people. What else happens?
They make excuses.
They're dishonest, snakes.
Negative.
Can't be trusted. They're negative. What else? What's that?
They can't confront you.
They can't. They won't
They can't
even.
look you in the
They don't
eye.
even speak the truth, and they can't even deal with the truth when it comes to you. Right? What else?
They're inconsistent.
Inconsistent. Right? So think about this. If you don't have belief on your side, and you try to interact with people, you're coming off as a hypocrite. You're going to be fake. They're not going to like you because they're not going to trust you. You don't believe in yourself, obviously, so why should they believe in you? The principle of belief is such a strong principle that every time you break it, you fail. Every time a leader breaks it, they fail. As soon as a follower gets a whiff that a leader's breaking that belief, what happens? Diminish. Pretty soon, I gotta get out of here. I don't ever want to see this person again. They start to avoid you because you don't listen. They don't want to talk to you because you lie. They don't want to belong with you because you're one of these people who can't be trusted. You can't be trusted if you don't have belief. So let me ask you a question. Why don't we lead with our beliefs?
They can jade us.
Probably fear.
What do you mean fear? Explain.
Well, sometimes you may be afraid of how someone else may feel.
Uh-huh.
So you act maybe according to the crowd instead of what you believe.
Ooh. And that makes us what again? What's that word he said over here?
Hypocrite.
Hypocritical. You get where I'm coming from here? This is a belief. This is a principle I swear to you, you cannot break. If you try to break this principle, it will cost you big time. And this is just one of the 5. So think about it. That's the first principle, because without belief, there cannot be hope. Not for you, not for anybody else. And if you lead with belief, if you lead with what you believe in everything and everywhere you go, guess what happens? You're energized, you're enthused, you're excited, you know who you are, and you can't wait to walk in and step into your truth all day, every day, with everybody you interact with. You ever bump into somebody whose belief is so huge that they seem to be unstoppable? Has that ever happened to you? You ever bump into somebody with that? Now, you might think they were fanatics. I get it. You might think something's wrong with them. I get it. But do they care?
No. No.
Why not?
Because they believe in themselves.
Their belief is so strong. They can walk courageously into any environment without any fear or any hesitation because they're not worried about what you think.
Right.
They are worried about identifying people who identify with them, who are going to jump on board with where they're going, with their thought process, with their beliefs, with their values. Does that make sense? Yeah. So now if you want to lead people, even lead yourself, do you want to lead people who don't believe in you?
No.
No.
Well, if you tell them, here's a trick. If you tell them what you believe in, they got a bigger shot in actually believing in you. But if you don't communicate that, you hold it, well, we can't talk about religion, we can't talk about politics, we can't talk about sex. All the good stuff. Right? But God forbid somebody might disagree. What does that leave us with?
Nothing.
That leaves us with what I call small talk.
Small talk, yeah.
Small talk is nothing. It gets us nowhere. I like to have big talk.
Exactly.
Big talk is the good stuff. It's the sexy stuff. It's the stuff you can believe in. It's the stuff you can trust. You know where somebody stands when you know where they stand. If they're not willing to say where they stand, then how do you know? So here's my belief. I believe that each one of you has talent. And you're gifted with something special. Something unique that's inside of you. Something that's better than most people who say they do what you do. Who have the roles that you have had. There's something unique about what you bring to the table that's special. And if you don't identify with what that uniqueness is, and if you can't speak to what that uniqueness is, you will never get to the point where people will be excited about talking to you. You'll never get to the point where people will follow you forever. You will never get to the point where you will be able to identify your tribe and work within your tribe. You've got to work out your beliefs. Anybody watch that show with Iyanla Vanzant, Fix My Life, Iyanla? I'm not a fan. However, I have heard Iyanla, you see in the commercials, and most of the time, she will tell everybody, you got to get your act together before you can play with somebody else. You have got to do the work of understanding yourself. Now, I know it flies against what we've all been taught. We've all been taught, if it is to be, it's up to me. It's my way or the highway. You know, it's all about me. I gotta tell you, that's a lie. The reality in our social system is we need each other like we need to breathe. If we're stuck with our own ideas and our own thoughts, we're going to die of loneliness, of what do we do with isolation? We're going to die. The number one leading contributor to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, is loneliness. Because what do you do when you're all by yourself?
Eat.
Anything you want to do. And anything you want to do is bad for you. All right? So just think about that. You know, think about it. You just let it all hang out. Right to the grave. You know? So think about that. Without people around you to bounce your ideas off of, to share your beliefs with, and to have them share theirs with you, you don't have a meter to judge the value and the quality of your life. You have to have that if you're going to be successful. You won't even know you're successful, by the way, because people won't be there to tell you. Belief is the foundation of everything you want to do. If you want to grow, if you want to create, if you want to be, if you want to do whatever, you have to believe something, somewhere. If you don't have any beliefs, adopt somebody else's beliefs. Try them out for a size. See if they work for you. And then go, if you don't like them, find some other ones. But it's important. Belief is important. If you don't have beliefs, I believe you all have talent. I believe you all have gifts. And I know that if I can help you figure out and identify with those talents and the gifts, I'm going to turn you on to a new reality. I'm going to make you a new person. I'm going to help you see something in yourself you may have never saw before. And all of a sudden, you're going to be, boom, firm in your belief, who you are, why you're here, what your purpose is. If you have purpose, if you have a mission, if you have a reason why, I promise you, you'll be unstoppable. But until you straighten that out, it doesn't matter what you do. You're just testing on another pair of shoes. Don't like them, I'll try another pair. Don't like them, I'll try another pair. How often can we do that? Through our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s? When are we actually going to arrive? When are we actually going to give ourselves permission to be who we were meant to be? Now, another hint I'm going to give you before we move on to the next person. All of us, you know what you're here for. You know. Everybody's been telling you your entire life. You're good at this. I loved when you did that. I appreciated this. And if you've gotten enough feedback from the universe, from people around you, guess what that feedback represents? A truth that you probably should accept. Somewhere in that data is you. If you fight against it, no. I know my family say I'm a sweet person, but I'm not really. You know, everybody always says, you know, I'm this and I'm that, but then no, that's not really me. Where are you going to accept the truth of who you are and then use that as a launching pad to go to where you want to go? No, it doesn't matter where it is. I'm a military brat. I grew up around the nation. Every time my father moved, I had to move. And he's a Navy guy, so I was always somewhere on the coastal area. Key West, Florida, San Diego, Hawaii, DC, back to DC every time. So DC is where he settled. But we've been all over the place. And what I had to learn as a military brat is every 2 or 3 years, I was going to lose my friends and start all over again.
Yep.
I had to make new friends every time. So now, it's in my DNA. I make friends. I'm good at it. I make friends fast. There is no, let's take years to hang out and see what we're going to do. Like, I don't have any long-term friends. All I have is playmates that we are playing together right now, hard as hell, enjoying every minute of it, and that's what we do, because I never know when the ship was going to be sailing. I got to get out of there. So I play hard and fast right now. I don't hold anything back. For some people, like, ooh, that's a lot. But some people are like, wow. Those are my playmates. We have fun. So I'm good. Now, how did I get good at this? By listening, by identifying, by figuring out what people like, what they enjoy, how they hit them, and right in their hearts, right off the bat. If you had a toy that I liked, that was wonderful. I was going to tell you, that's the best toy in the world. I can't, your parents are the best parents ever to get you this toy. I don't even know how you got this toy, but can I just play with it for a little bit? I'll schedule a time to come play with this toy. And I tell you what, to make it sweet for you, you can have anything in my toy closet. I'll give it to you. Now, nobody knew that my mother only allowed me to play with one toy at a time. And it wasn't until that toy was missing or broke that I could go get the new toy. So I was happy to get rid of the toys in my closet. You can have it. I mean, birthdays and Christmases would go by and the toys would stock up and stock up. I'm like, can I get, no, you play with that one. Then I'm coming back to this rule because she taught me a lot in that process. But I learned how to share quickly because I had to get rid of it in order to get the new toy. It's very, very important. Belief is very important. You got to know what you believe. And now I know I'm great at making friends. I make friends all the time. I'm a listener like nobody. If you talk to me, you're going to feel like you're the only person in the world. I make sure of it because I'm in. I'm all in. I'm not listening for my chance to talk. I'm not listening for my chance to step in. I'm listening because I want to understand you. Because if I don't understand you, you're not going to feel good about me. Okay, I'm willing to give it up. Talk to me for 20, 30, 40 minutes, however, till your face is blue. You're going to have the greatest conversation that you ever had with anybody on the planet. And you're like, you don't even know why, because I never said a thing. I'm an introvert. I really don't like this talking thing. Preparation. Principle of preparation. Very important. What's the principle of preparation and how does it work? What do you think? What happens if you're unprepared?
Yeah, fake it.
Take it down.
I think you make it, yeah.
Can you feel good about yourself if you're unprepared and you know it?
No.
Is it possible for you to feel good about your contribution to anything if you know you're unprepared? Even if you trick other people into believing that you're prepared. Can you feel good inside yourself with any level of integrity if you're there's the principle. you diminish yourself every time you show up unprepared. Every time you show up unready. Every time you show up, you don't have a full commitment, all resources, everything you can bring to the table. Every time, you are unprepared. And then you're going to ask somebody to trust you. You're going to ask somebody to believe in you. What's that word again over here? Hypocrisy. I didn't say it.
It's the only one he knows.
That's probably the best word. That might be the greatest word we all hear from. Just think about that. What does it take for you to be prepared to do whatever you do? I don't care what role you are. If you're a mom, grandmom, an auntie, an uncle, if you are a realtor or broker or whatever it is title you think you have, or community leader, or whatever. What is it? What is the preparation required? What is the preparation that you have to give to this role that you have that's going to make you proud first of yourself? Because I promise you, if you're not proud of yourself and you're asking other people to believe in you or be proud of you or accept you, you're asking them to accept not the real you, not all of you, not the prepared you. Is that fair for them? You think that's fair? But how many of us do it? Oh, I got too busy. Oh, I couldn't get it done. I just, but I'm here. I can't stand that. Really? And you want me to be happy about it? You showed up. Unready, unprepared. I'm supposed to go, woo, you! Yay, you made it. Think about that. Now, I understand there's extenuating circumstances. But how many people do you know show up all the time? Unprepared, late, disorganized, dysfunctional. What happens to a leader who shows up like that? How many times do you want to come to their meeting and sit in one more sales meeting, one more conference, one more blah, 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 blah. That's how it sounds too. Blah, 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 blah. Welcome to the blah, 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 blah. How often can you do that? How much before they lose your faith? You lose the faith in them. Think about that. So and somebody said modeling. You were said modeling earlier, right? Modeling behavior, leadership models of behavior. Somebody said modeling. Who said modeling?
Not smart enough to do that.
No, that's faking it. We don't do that. We don't do that. But it's very, very important. It was over here in this direction. Somebody said modeling. When I said, what are leaders? What do you want in a good leader? And they wanted to model the right behavior. I guess you must have left the room. All right. Well, you don't remember what you said. We all have senior moments. It's okay. It's okay.
Hey. Watch that senior moment.
I'm rocking out too. I earned every gray hair I have, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm 52 as of last May. May 28th. And to me, I was like, I never thought I'd get that far. Because I used to have a motto, the good die young, and I was ready to go. But I'm still here, so I guess I got to figure it out, what goes on next. But the next principle I want to get to you is concentration. Concentration is a critically important principle. It doesn't just mean how you think. It just doesn't mean your mental process. Concentration from a military point. Anybody ever been in the military? Okay. You know what we mean by forced concentration? What do we mean by forced concentration?
Well, if you're forced to concentrate, basically, I mean, you've got rules you've got to follow.
Anything else?
What? No, it's been so long ago since I was in the military.
Concentrate your resources in a limited area.
Right. Forced concentration is you bring everything to the party. You bring it all. You bring the Marines, the Air Force, the Navy. You bring the ships. You bring everything. You bring everything. You concentrate every resource you possibly can. Every logistical resource, every human resource, every thought process, everything to whatever you want to conquer. So, you got resources, you got tools, you got people, you got energy, you got effort. When you make a full concentrated effort on something, whatever it is, How do you feel about that?
Unstoppable.
You gotta win. One of my favorite military campaigns was the first Desert Storm, when Stormer Norman was in charge and Colin Powell was at the helm. You know why I love that campaign?
Got it done in a hurry.
They brought everything to the party. I mean, everything. They brought it. I was like, we are going to dominate this thing. We're going to crush this thing, and then we're out. That's it. That's it. Now, I will tell you, and I understand that it's a short-term thing, but concentration is how you know, and you know you've given it everything you got. What happens when you don't give it everything you got? Can you feel like you're going to be a winner? Do you know you're going to be a winner? It's like, I'm just going to stick my toe in the water. I'm going to try this market over here. I'm just going to see. Just a little bit. I'm not going to give it, because that's a risk. But we don't want to do that. What if it doesn't work? Go back to belief. If you don't believe, of course you shouldn't concentrate. Because you don't know nothing. You don't know who you are. You don't know why you're there. You don't know what you're trying to do. You've got to be willing to bring everything to the table. With your people, with your resources. And I call this the 3T rule. Time, talent, treasure. 3T, T squared, T cubed. Can't state, blame it on them. When you bring these three resources to anything you do, all the systems, all the tools, all the relationships, all the financial backing, all the effort to anything, that's when you know you've given it your all. You've given it all. And can anybody ask for more than that, really? Can you ask yourself for more than all? There's no such thing as 150%. Like, I gotta bring 110%. No, you try it, see what happens. Because it's impossible. But you can give it your all. You can put your best foot forward. You can give it your best effort. This one I ask all the time. Did you give it your best effort? She goes, yeah, Dad. Then I ask her a couple questions. Did you put all your time in it? Put all your resources in it? But then how do you know you gave it your best effort? You don't. That's the answer. So just think about that. When you want to give something your best effort, are you really concentrating? Are you really bringing everything to the table? Or are you whipping out? You're leaving something behind just in case. Just in case you fail. So what you do is you might as well go ahead and say, I'm only going to succeed to a certain level. I'm not going to absolutely win. I'm going to sort of, kind of, maybe win. You guys get where I'm coming from? Any thoughts or challenges to that? Because I know risk is hard. Everybody's like, I'm not saying take maniacal risks. I'm not saying go be stupid and do stuff you don't know. But once you know, and you believe, and you're prepared, bring it. What happens if you don't?
You'll never get it.
Every time you will get something, but you won't get all of it. It's impossible for you to bring some resources to the table and get everything you deserve to get. Because you didn't deserve to get. You only deserve to get what you give. What you put in. You can't take more out than you put in. We've tried that already. I'm an economics major, it's one of my majors. And I learned, first day of economics school, capitalism exploits every resource to scarcity in pursuit of profit. So what does that mean? Let me repeat that slowly for the audience out there. Capitalism exploits every resource to scarcity in pursuit of profit. Now that's the truth of capitalism. That's a simple truth of capitalism. What does that mean for people when human resources runs out? We're gone. We're dead. We're out of energy. We're out of juice. We can't give anymore. We're done. Capitalism exploits every resource to scarcity in pursuit of profit. Now think about that. If you work somewhere, is it possible to get paid what you're worth? Given that definition?
Never.
Smart man says never. He's not another word. All right?
Never.
Is it possible? Think about that. Can you really be paid what you're worth ever?
Yep.
I say no. I could be wrong, but I say no. Because I think if you did get paid what you're worth, the whole system would collapse. Because nobody would be making any more profit. There would be no more profit. They're like, oh, man, that's not going to work anymore. They're paying people too much. This is not going to work. Right? So that's a reality we have to accept if we're going to accept capitalism. It's a rule. Just know you're not getting paid what you're worth. So at least get paid what you deserve. And you cannot do it if you don't follow these first two principles: belief, preparation, concentration. Second principle, fourth principle, force. Now you might guess, I'm an old military guy, a big guy, a black guy. Force, I'm okay with. But let's talk about force as a principle. What does it really mean to force something to happen? Can you influence anything without some level of push?
Putting on your
I said it's a complication of everything you put into it.
Right. It doesn't matter. I know you don't want to be considered a pushy salesperson. I know. I know you'd rather be a consultant. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The reality is, though, if you don't ask for the deal,
You don't get it.
if you don't push for the opportunity, if you don't tell people, you know what, this doesn't meet all of your parameters, but I think you're going to love it, let's go check it out. If you don't influence people, if you don't exude your power on something, what do you think is going to happen? Nothing. So if you don't like force, you don't have to like force. You don't have to like it. But you need to understand it as a principle. There's a reason why they say nothing ventured, nothing gained. There's a reason why they say no pain, no gain. There's a reason. You've got to be willing to push. Now, I'm all about the velvet glove, right? And being kind but firm. Because if you're not firm, what happens? Oh, it's comfortable, but when it gets done in comfort, sleep. That's what gets done in comfort. Force is a little bit uncomfortable. When you push somebody, they might not want to be pushed, but they may need to be pushed. They may want to be pushed, and they will appreciate being pushed if you do it correctly. So again, line these principles up. They're all going. By the way, this is a linear process. You can't just go right to force. All right, and then forget these other ones, because that's going to mess you up. Right? Force is useful. It's a meaningful tool. It makes stuff happen. Without force, nothing happens. Anybody have any physics training? Anybody take physics class? Ever take physics? So they taught me physics in high school, and I learned it some more in college. But there's this thing when we studied force and kinetic energy and static energy, and they started telling us, well, there's a law in physics. What is that? Newton's second law? Equal and opposite reaction. What is that thing? What was that one? For every action, there's an opposite reaction. But what happens if there's no action?
Then there's no reaction.
Zero. All right? It's a law. If you want a reaction, you must apply an action. It's not going to happen. Nothing happens with nothing. So you have to push, you have to move, you have to create inertia, you have to create energy, you have to concentrate that energy in a belief system that works, in a process that's smart, and then you have to do it. Without force, there's nothing. Nothing happens. Our universe couldn't happen without force. Big Bang. Something happened. Pow. Whether God directed the Big Bang or science directed the Big Bang. I'm not getting into that argument with you. Something happened and boom, here we all are. Right?
Yeah.
Force made that happen. It was an effort. It was an energy. You have to do it. You can't get around it. You can't sit still and wait for something to happen. And hope something happens. No matter how much you believe, by the way, just belief is not good enough. You got to do some other stuff, right? Force. Last one, growth. This one's my favorite. If you're not growing, what are you doing?
You're dying. You're dying.
That's it. That's the rule. That's the law. Where there's no growth, there's death and attrition, and that's all. Because sitting still is not really sitting still. It's falling behind. You get where I'm coming from? Our society, our world, everything we're doing is moving forward. Time is moving forward. Everything is moving forward. If you're trying to hold on to the good old days, that's what you're all about. What do you think's going to happen to you?
Left behind.
I got to tell you a little story about my grandma. Lily Mae Powell. Love her to death. Beautiful beautician, wonderful person, came from the Madam C.J. Walker School of Beauty, learned in New York City, came back down to Emporia, Virginia, a little town in southern Virginia, where we're from, and ruled the roost. I mean, everybody, if you want to get your hair done, you were going to see Lily Mae. Because that she was the only game in town. And I thought my grandmother was the slickest, sharpest, most, just glam, everything that a woman should be was my grandmother growing up. We decided one day we're going to get grandma a new phone.
How old was she?
Grandma, I don't know what he was at that time. Maybe she was 70, I don't know. But grandma had one phone in the house with this extra long cord. And it did this number. Anybody remember this number?
The rotary dial.
A rotary phone, remember that? And then you had to wait for the dial tone. And she remembers when she had to just pick up the phone and ask somebody else to connect her somewhere else. So for her, this was the most greatest modern technology that had ever been invented. Right? She didn't have to be at the right time or anything like that. And when it rang, no matter what, no matter where she was, you're going to answer that phone. Because it rang. That's why you answered it. Somebody wants to talk to you. That's why you answered it. And you're all laughing because that's the... But now what happens if you want to hold on to that day? And your grandkids buy for you on Mother's Day. Grandma, we got for you this new phone. This push button phone.
There she goes.
And it's got an answer machine in there. And all you got to do is dial this number and get your messages. And you can leave messages everywhere. We can all get our messages. What did you think the old lady did?
That's she was confusing for me.
She said, baby, that's so nice. Thank you so much. She said, go ahead and plug that in for me. Plugged it on in. We left. Months later, we ain't heard from Grandma. We called Grandma. Grandma don't answer that phone. Grandma don't return those messages. We go back and visit Grandma. Grandma, what's going on? We got you a new phone. We should be in contact. We should be doing stuff. She goes, baby, I don't know how to use that thing. That's when I came to the reality. If you don't keep up, if you're not willing to grow, you're going to be left behind. How many of you are on Facebook right now Just because you know that's the only way to talk to your grandkids. No.
A couple of us.
How many you texting right now? Just because you know that the kids, everybody is like, well, you know, they're forcing you into it. Don't be that person. There are some things in the good old days we can hold on to and should hold on to, and we need to preserve for the younglings. But we need to allow them to help us grow into the future. There's a poem I want to leave you with, and I'm going to shut up and answer any questions you may have, and I have some questions for you. It's an old African poem that I learned when I was in school. It goes like this: your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life, longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls, because their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can strive to be like them, but you cannot make them like you. I hold on to that poem since I was a 21-year-old man, because I realized I'm going to be a father someday. And I realized I'm going to be a leader someday. And I realized I'm going to be responsible for some young people someday. And I'm going to need to be able to listen to them. And I'm going to need to be able to learn from them. And I can't make them a stranger, because that's going to cut off my learning and my development. And it's very, very important. So they learn things that we can't learn. You've got to be willing to grow. You've got to be willing to boldly go into the new. Just hold on to what you know you need to hold on to. But don't be afraid of growing into the new. Because if you're not growing, you're going to get left behind. And Joanne Jenkins, who's now the new CEO of AARP, has a book called Disrupting Aging. She suggests that you will never be irrelevant. So forget that retirement thing. Forget that stopping thing, where you don't have anything relevant to give, to share, to be with people. Figure out a way to keep the party going. Figure out a way to keep contributing. Figure out a way to update your skills consistently and regularly. Be somebody new tomorrow that you weren't today. Just in some little small way. Because if you're not getting better, my friend, every day, you're purposefully retarding yourself. And you don't have to. All you have to do is at the end of today, ask yourself the question: what do I need to do differently tomorrow to be better than I did and I was today? We can't say I don't have the information anymore. Information age is gone and past. We can Google everything. Like, why do you think I'm willing to give you all my books and stuff? You can find it anyway. So you might as well find it from me. And that way, I can say, hey, I did that. At least I can say I contributed. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have any barriers to that. So I'm going to end with this the last conversation I'm going to have with you guys is I'm doing something special this month. The month of July is coming upon us, right?
Yep.
And I want to do something special this month. I want to contribute heavily to an organization that I believe in called Friend to Friend. And Friend to Friend is an organization that's developed by my friend Ron Wiersma, who's a realtor here in Northern Virginia. And he developed this organization to end loneliness. Because I know that isolation and loneliness is a real killer. I studied the books, I've looked at all the research about this, and I want to help Ron get in front of this thing called loneliness. So I'm going to contribute 50% of my proceeds for the month of July to Friend to Friend. Well, not 50%, 25%. The other 25% is going to go to a veterans organization that helps veterans do business, learn to get in the game of small business. Because I'm a big believer in small business, and I think that that's an important thing for everybody to get in front of is the world of entrepreneurship, the thought of entrepreneurship, the mindset. And so everything I raise this month for the month of July, 50%, 25% is going to Friend, the other 25% is going to the Retired Military Officers Business Council. And that's helping not just officers, but all military people get into business for themselves, learn the techniques, learn the strategies, learn how to be better entrepreneurs. So I'm going to make you guys an offer. I'm giving you all the free stuff anyway. But those of you all who take me up on potentially, just potentially becoming a client of mine, I'm going to give 50% of the proceeds to those two organizations. Now, just so you know, how much does it cost? Get that out of the way. I have services that go from $500 to $4,000. Any level and in between. I don't care how you pay me. I don't care when you pay me. All I care is that we help you grow. And so I have professional coaching services, personal coaching services. I work with entrepreneurs specifically, especially service entrepreneurs. So pretty much everybody in this room could be a great opportunity. And 50% of everything you spend with me is going to those charities. If you'd like to take me up on that offer, I'll create a sign-in sheet over here, and then we can figure out how to let you know what it's all about. It's not guaranteed, not written in stone, that you can say no. I don't have a problem with that. I want you to, affirm yourself and say no when you want to say no. But if you're interested in that possibility, sign up. You're going to get all the free stuff. Now you're going to get the free stuff directly from me, not third party. And we'll set up an appointment to explain to you what Coach Powell Training Service is all about, what we do, and how we deliver to entrepreneurs like yourselves. Fair enough? All right, I'm going to shut up. Let's talk about some questions. We got 10 more minutes, I think, right? 10 more minutes?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we find that poem anywhere?
It's written by Khalil Gibran.
It's also a song.
It's also a song by Sweet Honey in the Rock.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. Any questions about anything? You want to know what my favorite books are for anything? Wait, anything. It doesn't matter. Come on. I know I didn't.
What are your favorite books?
Ah!
Like that.
So you asked me about motivation and moving forward and being disciplined, right? One of the best books I've ever read, current books, is a book that was written. Oh my God, I'm having a senior moment. Come on, Marvin. Keith Ferrazzi wrote a book called Never Eat Alone. And it's all about how to establish your own community. And the reason why I say that is your community is going to hold you accountable to be disciplined in ways that you would never hold yourself accountable to be disciplined. And if you learn how to establish your community, if you learn how to establish your posse, your accountability circle, so to speak, they're going to be on you. Remember you said you're going to do blah, 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 blah? Did you do blah, 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 blah? What do we need to do to help? Never eat alone. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any advice for realtors?
Tons.
Do you have one piece of advice you'd be willing to share?
A good piece of advice for realtors. This is my creative director. Let me think of. I think get over the stigma. It's not you. You're not that. Whatever people think negatively about realtors is not you. You don't have to fight against it. You don't have to worry about it. Don't even consider it as an obstacle. And I know you know, well, they think blah, 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 they think blah, blah. Don't. That's just an excuse you're giving yourself not to try. Stop it. What you bring to the table is unique and special, and it's only you. That hurt? Did that help? Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not doing personal coaching right now with someone, but the coaching that he has, which is public coaching for entrepreneurs, he says that every good coach has a coach. Do you have a coach?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Several. I have at least three.
That's the key, is whether or not I would.
At least three. I agree with that principle too. Because how do you learn to be a good coach if you don't have a coach? Yes, ma'am.
What is your phone number?
703-201-4267. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Did you give a talk, probably back in December, to a group about the 600 cups of coffee? Was that you?
Million cups.
Million cups?
Yes.
I have been looking everywhere for you.
Uh-huh.
And seriously, I was so motivated by what they shared with me to where I've already put it into process for this year.
Thank you so much.
But your word is passing around through.
Oh my God.
Virginia, so.
This happens in social media stuff. It's her fault.
They heard you speak. and I've been looking for you for 7 months now.
Well, now you found me. I have my business cards over here. Anybody wants to get it? What other questions?
Are you also the one that does the big organization, big group that meets up in Tyson's Corner area, like once or twice a month? Like
So yes, I am the founder of the Roundtable. The Roundtable has 7 meetings throughout the Northern Virginia area. We used to have a Tyson's group. We closed that and moved to the Falls Church.
Okay.
And we meet every single week. And we're different than the other so-called networking groups because we are professional development groups.
Professional development.
All we do is teach and train and develop people. We don't put any pressure on you to do anything except learn. So that you can then learn the art and skills of networking and take them in the future. And the diagram that I gave you out front, that's a little bit about what the Roundtable is all about. All right? I'm sorry I didn't mention it earlier. Thank you for bringing it up.
1 million cups? Is it 1 million cups?
Million Cups, yes.
Okay.
I've presented to them several times, but most recently is the one they videoed and it's going all over the place now. It's going viral. It's crazy. Anything else? Nobody needs any help with anything? Nobody wants any ideas for anything? Come on, go ahead. Okay, so every coach, I hate to ruin it for you. Every coach does the same 3 things. If they say they do something different, they're lying. All right? First thing you got to do is assess. What are your skills? What are your talents? Where are you? Got to figure out where you are. Second thing you got to do is figure out what your problems are. What are your walls? What's your barriers? What do you do? Third thing we do is give you tons of exercises to get you over, around, and through whatever barriers that are facing you. Now, I invented a process called the Vision Quest 90 process. It's a 4-month process.
What is it called?
Vision Quest 90. Vision Quest 90. And I invented this process because I figured out the secrets to make sure that whatever problem you have, I don't care what the problem is, you go to the Vision Quest 90 process and you will end that problem in your life. It won't happen anymore. It won't be there anymore. Whatever the issue is. Now, what I cannot do is therapy. So if I figure out your problem, it's not that I don't know how to ride the bike or I just don't know where the bike is. If you are scared of the bike, scared of getting on the bike, I can't help you with that. We got to talk to therapy on that one. So sometimes it's happened. Somebody bumps into my process, and it's 100% money back guarantee process. I've had 987 clients in the last 15 years. All of them were successful. I started giving them money back guarantee about halfway through that process. So if you don't like it, you get your money back. If it doesn't work for you, you get your money back. It's perfect. I put my money where my mouth is. I know it works. I hope that answers some of your questions. Yes, ma'am.
Do you do any group coaching?
I do. In fact, I do some free group coaching. Every Friday, I do a program called Coffee, Tea, You and Me at the Panera Bread in Clifton.
Okay.
And that's because I have so many hats that I wear in the community. Sometimes I just need to sit down and be somewhere where everybody can find me. And so they show up on Friday from 3 to 5, and I've been doing that for 15 years. I've only missed twice in 15 years. And it's people. I can't stop now. People expect me to be there. So the Panera Bread
Mom doesn't let him go on
Union Hill
vacation.
Road in Clifton.
We have to come back
It feels like
Fridays.
Centerville, but it's actually Clifton. All right, so
Or he
I'm
comes
committed to
back
that because I
Friday
think that,
and leaves
again, from 3 to 5 every Friday. I'd love for you to just show up. Are you coming? You coming Friday? Who's coming Friday?
I will.
Let me see. I like to have a packed house this Friday. That's good. That's good. And I just take over the big table. Sometimes I add 5 or 6 tables. It doesn't matter. We just take it over. The more of us, the less kids can fit in there.
They're out of school now. They're out of school now, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, kids are out of school. Thank you. Any other questions I can answer for you?
What's your favorite summertime activity?
So you just bumped into something, it's really critical for me. I hate this. I love what I do so much.
It can't be your
It's like pulling me away from it. It's like pulling teeth. My wife has been trying to get me on vacation. I'm like, I live a vacation. What are you talking about? You have to take a break from what you do because you don't like it as much as I love what I do. And so I'm on all the time, 24/7. I am with my clients, I'm with my friends, my associates, and I'm just sharing what I know, what God has given me to share. I never stop.
No hobbies?
Racquetball.
Okay. Okay.
When I'm I used to be a racquetball instructor. So I'm a certified racquetball instructor. And when I'm on my game, and it hasn't been for a while because I broke my foot recently, and I'm still healing, I should say that. I've healed, now I'm gun shy. And I need to get some motivation to get back in the court. But I need to find my motivation.
Or you'll be a hypocrite.
Right. Oh, I'm not hypocritical because I'm not trying to be a racquetball player. I'm not doing it. But the thing is, yeah, I do need to get back in. So anybody wants to play, that might be my motivation. If you want to have me teach you some racquetball, I'll be more than happy to do it. Anything else I can do for you? I got 2 more minutes before they rip me off the stage.
It's been awesome.
Just go with the hashtag I gave you, and you're gonna find me everywhere.
Or Google Coach Powell.
Or type in @Coach Powell.
Because my name, Marvin Powell, is everywhere. Some people mistake me for the football player who's 11 years older than me. Used to play for the Jets. I'm not that guy, but all his high school friends keep bumping into me on Facebook. So if you find him, let me know because I'm looking for him too.
The A with the circle.
Anything else? Going once? Going twice? The doors of the church are open. All right. Don't say anything else.